Australia.
Please welcome Senior Elder of the Wurundjeri people, Auntie Joy Murphy-Ayo, performing the Welcome to Country.
Welcome to my father's traditional lands here on Wurundjeri Woiwurrung country. And I pay my respects to all ancestors, elders and communities across this great nation and our neighbouring islands. Can I also acknowledge each and every one of you that are with us today from near and afar, and especially to the teams representing the NHL. Can I also acknowledge all Indigenous people across the world for your culture and your journey. The Wurundjeri Woiwurrung are known as the Managum people. I'll take this leaf on your behalf. Accepting this leaf means that you are welcome to everything from the tops of this amazing tree to the roots of the earth, and you join us to honour the spirits of our ancestors who have nurtured this very land. May you have a great time today, and thank you again to the USA for coming here to Naarm. Our language is the Woiwurrung, Waminjaka, Notchkanwa.
Thank you, Auntie Joy Murphy-Ayo. Good afternoon, hockey fans, and welcome to Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne, Australia for the 2023 NHL Global Series featuring the Arizona Coyotes and the Los Angeles Kings. Let's meet today's starting lineups presented by Crown. First, for the Arizona Coyotes. On defense from Regina, Saskatchewan, number 24, Matt Dumba. On defense from Kiel, Switzerland, number 90, J.J. Moser. At forward from Madison, Wisconsin, number 8, Nick Schmaltz. At forward from Chesterfield, Missouri, number 9, Clayton Keller. At forward from Peterborough, Ontario, number 29, Barrett Payton. And starting in goal from Trevorich, Czechia, number 70, Karel Vejmelka. And now the starting lineup for the LA Kings. On defense from Stockholm, Sweden, number 5, Andreas Englund. At forward from Victoriaville, Quebec, number 24, Philippe Deneau. At forward from Umeå, Sweden, number 91, Carl Grundström. At forward from Thousand Oaks, California, number 12, Trevor Moore. On defense, from Manly, New South Wales, Australia, number 53, Jordan Spence. And starting in goal from Caledonia, Ontario, number 39, Cam Talbot. Fans, please rise if you're able and remove your hats. Performing the national anthem of the United States of America, accompanied by King's organist Dieter Rule, please welcome the anthem singer of the LA Kings, Hannah Davey.
stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rumbling, the bombs bursting in air, give through the night that our flag was still there. Sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And now to perform the national anthem of Australia, please welcome Josh Williams.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Hockey fans, today we'd like to welcome someone that has not only electrified the world of footy, but has also become an inspiration to countless aspiring athletes both here and in Australia and across the globe. With an unwavering commitment to the black and white stripes, he's become a force on the field, and on Friday night, he kicked a goal to put Collingwood ahead over the Giants, punching the team's ticket to the 2023 AFL Grand Final. Please welcome the true Collingwood legend, Mason Cox. Coming forward for today's ceremonial puck drop. Thank you, Mason, and best of luck to you and your team for the night.
From Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne, Australia, the NHL Global Series continues. It's the Los Angeles Kings and Arizona Coyotes. Welcome again, everybody, to Game 2 of this weekend set. These games, the first ever NHL contest in Australia and the Southern Hemisphere. Yesterday, the Coyotes prevailed by a 5-3 score before an enthusiastic crowd of over 13,000. The building will be full again as the Aussies continue to show their support and really embrace NHL hockey. Kings are the home team today. Cam Talbot signed a one-year deal in the offseason as a free agent, 36 years of age. He'll start for the Kings against 27-year-old Karel Vejmelka out of the Czech Republic, who appeared in 50 games last season for the Coyotes. The officials for the game tonight: Kevin Pollock, along with Ghislaine Hebert, Matt McPherson, Bevan Mills will work the lines. The Kings will start the Deneau line with Trevor Moore and Carl Grundstrom. Hayton out there for the Coyotes with Keller and Nick Schmaltz. So we're underway here in Game 2 of the Global Series. Hayton up the right wing. gains entry into the Kings zone and then fell down with Philip Deneau. Going to get a penalty here early on as Clayton Keller touches up. It will be a tripping call.
Certainly one thing you want to stay away from at any time. Offensive zone penalties.
Arizona, number 29, minor penalty, tripping.
So the trip to start the game, Hayton will go off. He has the puck initially. Deneau has good angle there. Deneau beats him to the puck. Hayton beats him to the skates with his stick into the skates. Right there, the old corkscrew between the legs. So early power play, LA Kings.
Power play last year for Los Angeles, very good, ranked 4th in the league, just over 25%. And off the draw, a battle, and the Coyotes get a loose puck and clear it down. Australian-born Jordan Spence, a right-shot defenseman, quarterbacking the power play to start. Got a great ovation as the starting lineups were announced here a few moments ago. He is out there with Byfield, Deneau, another newcomer, Dubois, for the Kings as the Kings come out of their zone with Deneau, third year in Los Angeles. Pitches it into the left wing corner. Dubois around to Kaliev and out to Spence. For Kaliev, in behind the net, Dubois feeds it out to Byfield. To Dubois, centering pass. Deneau is tied up. Spence a blast wide. Spence letting it go from straight out about 35 feet.
The Kings were looking in the middle right there to Deneau. It did not work initially, but Spence picks up the loose puck. Now he has the one-timer. One thing that happened yesterday's game, same thing we saw right there, taking away the middle of the ice by the Coyotes.
Kings on the power play for another 45 seconds. Set it up. New faces out there. Fiala a drive through traffic. Knocked away. Kempe for Anderson to Fiala to Kempe off his stick. Kempe, a 41 goal scorer, led the Kings in that department last year. Fiala threw it in front, intercepted, and defenseman Dermott for the Coyotes through center ice. He'll get it in deep and then get finished on the play by Kempe. Power play down to 15 seconds left.
It seems like the pressure of the Coyotes here in game 2 much better than game 1 as far as picking the right time to pressure the puck. Kings don't have time to move it around.
Jared Anderson-Dolan around to Samuel Fagimo. Couple of younger forwards in the organization, and now Mikey Anderson a shot through traffic, deflects wide. Coyotes have killed the penalty, and they clear the puck to Hayton, who came out of the penalty box. He'll get it down the ice. Kings will take over. So the Kings fail on an early power play here in game 2 of the Global Series in Melbourne.
Pitchers or catchers, I would say probably the advantage goes to the penalty kill early in the season. The power play has to be perfect. The penalty kill work together.
Now rolling puck in on goaltender Vejmelka. He settles it down. He had trouble initially reaching for it.
The best chance for the Kings comes on a play again. Didn't connect initially, but Jordan Spence able, look at him crank it up right there. I mean, he had everything. The Coyotes are taking away the shot lanes, and that's why that goes wide from behind the goaltender. There's that attempted pass, and you can see there's a little bit of a screen. Not enough for the puck to get back in. That last chance looked a little bit tough right there. A little bobble, almost a loose puck.
Coyotes off the draw to center. Schmaltz out with Keller and Hayton. Here's ex-King Sean Dursey. Along the boards, will work it in behind the Kings' goal. Picked up by Doty, chopping at it, can't clear, but he got it across to Gavrikov. Ahead for Trevor Moore, who scored yesterday. Moore down to the right circle, hands it off. Moverara a shot block. Picked up by Moore. Trevor Moore spinning. Holds on, took a shot at the outside of the post. Puck worked up high to Dubois. Dubois acquired in the offseason for 3 players and a pick. Driving down low, big frame, 6'4", throws it in front. Save is made, a loose puck. And Doty had a whack at it, but the Coyotes get controlled and clear.
And that's the second time with Vejmelka there. He just looked like down low. He wasn't handling it well. We saw that little bounce earlier. That time the Kings throwing it into his feet. Dubois taking over behind to the front. Good puck protection.
Scoreless early on. Dubois playing with Fiala and Kaliev. They were together yesterday here at Rod Laver Arena. Puck worked down the ice. Chasing at it, Michael Carcone, who led the American Hockey League in scoring last season, a 27-year-old veteran pro. Puck out to the blue line, and fanning on a shot. Moser picked up Carconia drive off a stick over the glass.
Well, Pierre-Luc Dubois, he's told us he likes to be called PL, so we'll kind of keep it short for him. I mentioned the puck protection, feet. Now watch when he gets to the back of the net here. He'll move his hips around to get the shot on net. Here's what I was talking about. You can see Vejmelka right there. He doesn't really see the puck, doesn't find the puck, but luckily, fortunately, look at the inside position. Good inside position by the defenders of the Coyotes. No second chance.
Face off in the Kings' end, and Logan Cooley for Arizona on the draw. He scored a fabulous goal here yesterday in his first game with the Coyotes. First round pick a couple of years ago. Spinning, falling, shooting, and scoring. Cooley in the second period yesterday. He'll get a good long look as expected as the Kings come out of their zone. Feed in front, Byfield, a chance in tight. Save is made, Vejmelka. Turcotte setting up Byfield. Turcotte, like Byfield, an ex-King first-round pick.
They're just putting the puck to space, allowing the speed of Byfield to jump onto the puck as opposed to going for the stick-to-stick pass.
Toby Bjornfoot on defense for the Kings today. Number 7. Worked ahead. Byfield chases, centers in front. Grundstrom in tight. A backhander is knocked down. Grundstrom battling with Byfield. Grundstrom along the wall. Hands it off. Byfield, a weak shot, goes wide. Gavrikov for Grundstrom in the corner. Danault is there. Danault supporting with it. Threw it out to the blue line, but it's picked off. Michelli will drop it back inside the Arizona line.
Game 2 starting much like game 1 here, with the Kings controlling early. Right now 6-0 shots on goal.
Coyotes work the puck down the ice. They've got the Keller line out with Hayton and Schmaltz. They were together most of last season for Andre Tourigny. The Coyotes coach now in his 3rd season. Moser right side, but just out of the reach of Matt Dumba, who was signed as a free agent. 10 years in Minnesota with the Wild, but Dumba couldn't tee it up, and the puck down the ice. Clubs change on the fly as Moser plays it off the left wing boards. And now a battle inside the Kings blue line. Puck squirts free. Moser dumps it into the right wing corner. Alex Kerfoot took a heavy hit from Andreas Englund. Jared Anderson Dolan headmans the puck, and Doty for Los Angeles will clear. Dumba sends it right back down. Englund around to Doty. And the 30-year-old veteran Jacob Doty will get it down and head off on a change.
The first look at Englund with the Kings, he's very assertive. When he makes the decision, 100% goes all the way.
Through center ice, the Coyotes. Cooley will get it in deep. Englund takes over. Got it on the right wing to Dubois, who plays it down the ice. Chasing after it hard is Kalia, but the goalie Vejmelka got there. Cleared it around, and the Coyotes come to center ice. Cooley for Gunther, who got stood up by Bjornfoot at the Kings line. One-on-one play there. The Kings mishandle it. Centering pass. Knocked away by the goalie stick. Cooley battles. He gets it back. No-look pass in the slot, however, is broken up. And the Kings play it ahead. Kaliev will get it down.
Chance for both teams to make that change. So the pace, we talked about it yesterday in game 1. The boards, the ice conditions, much better than everyone expected. A lot of quickness to this game so far. And the Kings have had the better chances so far. Still nothing on the board. The speed of Byfield. Watch this pass to space. Get it on goal. We're still scoreless.
And as you can see, as we look around the arena, so many different NHL jerseys are being represented.
And including jerseys, Nick, from the Australian Ice Hockey League, which has 10 teams, a professional league. You go a little ways away, New Zealand, an amateur league with 6 teams. So, trying to get it going here down under.
An ex-King, Steve McKenna, after he played, his career lasted 8 years in the NHL. He came over and helped coach and build the game, and actually coached their international team in 2006. Steve McKenna, when he played in the NHL, was the tallest player at 6'8", tallest player ever until Zdeno Chara came along. So there has been a presence. They've been playing this game here in Australia for over 100 years. Kings looking for a chance, and from the right circle, Moverara, defenseman, let it go. Pretty good look for the young defenseman.
The Kings attacking in layers right there. The speed backs off the defenders of the Coyotes. The second layer of defense can come in.
Moverara paired with Gavrikov. Kings resting a couple of veterans for game 2 as we get a whistle.
So the Kings, when you're able to penetrate the offensive blue line like the Kings have here, there's the turnover, and that creates the issue. Then the Kings take over. Good pressure. Right there, that drop pass sets up just about everything. And then the shot comes in. Vejmelka, again, I'm just going to mention, he had his hands on it, but never could hold on to the puck. So a little bit of sloppiness right there with the rebound.
And the Hayton, Keller, Schmaltz line out for Arizona. Keller led the team in goals, assists, and points last season in his 7th season. Schmaltz tied up by Moverara, and the puck out of the zone. Scoreless almost midway through period 1. Coyotes only one shot. There is number 2 from Sean Durzi, jumping up into the play, as Kings fans have seen him do over the last couple of years. Durzi acquired in the offseason by general manager Bill Armstrong of the Coyotes. Nick Schmaltz taking over at center ice for Durzi. Durzi's feet for Keller, but Keller was interfered with, and I think Gavrikov will go.
Well, the best chance for the Coyotes so far, so maybe the best shift of the game because they draw a penalty at the end of it, but Durzi gets the opportunity initially.
Los Angeles number 84, 2 minutes interference.
On the counterattack, Gavrikov was standing up and took the man down without the puck. So pass to space. Keller to Durzi, head up, watch the low pad right there. Kicks into the corner, so no trouble in the second shot. Gavrikov gets a piece. And for that reason, he goes off for interference. So the Kings have had a power play, first power play for the Coyotes.
Tano wins the draw, and Mikey Anderson gets it down the ice. Coyotes did have a power play goal yesterday. Michelli had a goal in the game. Got it over the line to Zucker as they look to set it up. Out to Vejmelka. Across left side. Shot taken. Bukestad blocked. Nick Bukestad traded at the deadline. Went to Edmonton. Played against the Kings in the first round of the playoffs. Then was signed as a free agent. Zucker a drive off the arm of the goalie. It goes in the air. Winds up in the corner. Bukestad is on it. But his pass broken up, and Danault will get it down.
That was the best chance so far with Zucker. He's just backing off. He has a one-timer. He hit it as hard as possible. It looked like it might have been rolling a little bit, but the big arm, not necessarily the glove of Talbot, but the arm, I think, made the save.
Some up-ice pressure by Adrian Kempe as the Coyotes move in with Schmaltz. A chance. Save is made. Schmaltz with a good look off the right wing. Now in tight. Another opportunity. Keller, and that was blocked or either stopped by the goalie Talbot. Coyotes working in front for a chance, and a save is made point blank off Dylan Gunther.
This is the setup that many teams like to employ if possible. It's a pass from high near the blue line down low to the goal line, but then quickly with a one touch right to the middle. Earlier, and certainly the game has turned around. There it is. Yeah, you can see it. Talbot maybe fought that one off as he had to take one stride across the crease. Yeah, the puck was rolling. And then you get that knuckleball effect, which makes it even more difficult. The one-touch passing, 1, 2, 3, there it is. That's what you want to do when the Coyotes execute. Talbot stays at home, not a lot of movement right there. Deep in his net, makes the save.
Coyotes last year, 24th on the power play, so they'll be working on that quite a bit before the regular season starts. Power play winding down in tight. A chance and a goal! Barrett Hayton took the feed from Keller at the goal line, spun and shot and beat Talbot for the game's first goal.
Well, 5-on-5, it was all Kings. And then the first power play for the Coyotes, and they really have taken control. You talk about execution, the passes, the movement. First thing you have to do is win a face-off. You spread out, you go to your spots, but then very quickly, Hayton will get himself a little room. He took one big stride from the goal line below out in front, but then the quick hands. I mentioned earlier the previous save by Talbot, he was in good position, he didn't have to move. That time Hayton outweighted the goaltender, pulls it, drags it, and very quickly hoists it top shelf. 1-0 Coyotes.
23-year-old Barrett Hayton, their first-round pick back in the 2018 draft, showed great improvement and consistency last year. We mentioned he was on basically their #1 line all of last year with Keller and Schmaltz, so he gets the goal, a power play goal at 11-18.
When I look at the numbers of Hayton, Nick, and I watch him play, I say those numbers are going to get better. He has skill, he has understanding, he has willingness to get involved.
Barrett Hayton with the goal set up by Clayton Keller as the Kings have up ice pressure on Kerfoot, who hands it off to Matt Dumba.
When we talked with Andre Tourigny, the head coach of the Coyotes yesterday, he said Hayton is not good. He says he's great. A lot of respect for the young center.
Now in the slot, a one-time bid by Gunther was tied up by a defender's stick. Gunther gets it back, but is stripped on the play by the veteran Deneau. Deneau around the wall to Grundstrom. He'll try and clear the zone. Cannot. Andreas Englund signed as a free agent in the offseason by Kings GM Rob Blake, out there now with it behind his own net. Kings adding some size on the left side on their blue line with Englund and re-signing Gavrikov. Here is Deneau with a chance. Missed the upper right corner. With 7:14 left in the period. Back checking Moore. Broke up the play at the Kings line. And both forward combinations will go for changes. Jordan Spence back on the ice for Englund, and ahead off Byfield's stick. Bukestad turning, his outlet pass hit Michelli. Michelli recovers, moves in with Krause, hands it off. Krause will get it down low. Bukestad chasing, battling with Jordan Spence. Krause and Bukestad, two big boys out there, big blokes if you will. Here is Krause, feeds it across, and one-timed wide by Bukestad, who gets knocked down by Jordan Spence. And away with it, Gavrikov. Bjornfoot now on the ice. Gavrikov coming to center ice. He'll shoot in. Dubois out with Kaliev and Fiala. Fiala had a strong game yesterday. Gavrikov with a shot up high. Save made by Vejmelka. Barrett Hayton, a power play goal here midway through the first period. And the Coyotes have a lead. You're watching the NHL.
Kings trailing 1-0 to the Coyotes. Kings head coach Todd McClellan, 5th year with the Kings. 7 new players in the lineup, so 7 guys go out, including Anze Kopitar and Drew Doughty. Andre Tourigny, 3rd year with the Coyotes. He loves to cook. Spaghetti sauce he loves a lot. He also loves ribs on the barbie.
My kind of guy.
They call him the Bear.
In his 3rd season, got an extension from general manager Bill Armstrong last month, and then the Coyotes extended the GM Armstrong as well. Goal Hayton on the power play at 11:18. Keller and Dursey picking up the assists. Shots are even in the period at 9 apiece. Keller back out there, will backhand it in deep. Cam Talbot, a veteran of over 400 NHL games, getting the start for the Kings here today. Fiala to center to Dubois. Dubois couldn't make a play. Now a battle for the puck. Dubois gets it back. A drop pass. Fiala for Dubois. For Fiala. Out to Bjornfoot. A drive that floats and knuckles wide of Vejmelka. And Schmaltz along the wall protecting it with his big frame. But Fiala centers from the end dasher. Dubois unable to get a stick on it, and the Coyotes will get it down. They change on the go, and here is Spence. A feed off the right wing boards. Pagimo couldn't control it. The other way, Carconi moving behind the Kings net. Rubbed out neatly by Englund. Soderstrom on the right side. Right shot defenseman for the Coyotes. For Kerfoot. To Carconi, a drive. That's deflected wide. Kerfoot behind the goal. Walks out. Shoots. Save is made in tight. Up with it, the Kings. Anderson Dolan got it ahead to center. Worked down the ice by Doty. Jared Anderson Dolan has been in the organization for 5 seasons. Former second-round pick. Coyotes hustle to get a loose puck inside the Kings line, and while falling, Kerfoot got it on goal.
What a difference a power play makes, because since the Coyotes power play, they've taken over the game. Better chances. Kerfoot, new addition, behind to the front, quick hands, quick feet. Talbot with the save.
Cam Talbot in goal for the Kings. A new look in goal for the Kings. Last year at the start of the season, Jim, it was the veteran Quick and Cal Peterson. They're both gone, and you've got Talbot, you've got Riddick.
Decision by Talbot. There's David Riddick on the bench. Talbot said he wants to win at this point of his career. He's a veteran guy. The Kings are getting up there in the conversation. He said he's able to compete for a spot here. He did not want to go somewhere and be a backup. And then previous relationship with Todd McClellan. Spent 4 years in Edmonton under Todd.
Of course, Phoenix Copley in the mix as well. Played so well for the Kings when he was recalled in early December last season. 1-0 Coyotes. The goal by Hayton. Gavrikov trying to secure a bouncing puck, and finally it's knocked away from him by Gunther, but Gavrikov recovers and clears the zone. Dylan Gunther, a former first-round pick, number 11 Arizona. But here's Moore. Gains the line, backhands it towards the net. Easy stop for Vejmelka. And a whistle. Vejmelka, Jim, here in the first period, unofficially facing 10 shots. Last season, he started 49 games. He was the busier between he and Ingram in goal. And on 9 occasions, he faced 40 or more shots in a game.
And that led to a new term in the NHL, a verb. You get Vejmelka, because when he was on, I mean, he just stoned teams. Now, of course, that will have to improve with consistency. But as you mentioned, the more shots, the better he gets.
2 games, he faced over 50 shots, including the season opener last year. Off the draw, puck went in the air. Going to get a penalty here against Arizona. Shot Anderson, glove down. And the Kings are going to get a power play, going to be a high-sticking call.
Yeah, I think that puck you were talking about, Nick, I think what happened, one of the Coyotes took a swing at it. Dumba goes to the box.
Arizona, number 24. Minor penalty for high sticking.
So Matt Dumba, acquisition. Years in Minnesota, now comes to the Coyotes. And I'm pretty sure he was swinging a loose puck. You don't get the puck, you get someone else, you get the high stick. Kings power play. Near boards right here, it's high in the air. Oh, there, he wasn't reaching for the puck, but the stick came out point first. He goes to the box.
Deneau wins the draw, gets it back from Spence. For Deneau again. At the goal line, Dubois. Dubois' pass kind of handcuffed Kaliev and goes off the boards and down. Byfield, Dubois, Kaliev, Deneau, and Spence. So Spence, third-year pro, quarterbacking the power plays. Deneau shoots in. And a board battle to the left of Vejmelka. Kings with their second power play here in the opening period. Deneau is there. Kaliev knocked over on the play by McBain. Now the puck on the near boards and cleared to center by Moser. Deneau off for Byfield, and back to Deneau. Cross ice pass goes off Kaliev's stick. Dubois there to collect for Deneau, and now Dubois again around to Byfield and out to Spence. Byfield at the goal line, Dubois. Spence across to Deneau. Right circle, Dubois shot off a stick McBain's and out of play.
I know one thing that will impress coaches for the Coyotes, especially in this penalty kill situation. I think it's happened both games so far. Positioning of sticks. First thing you're doing is taking away the lane. Second thing you're doing is, if the opposition does get an opportunity, watch right here. McBain just gets his stick in the right place at the right time. You don't have to be right next to a guy, especially when you're penalty killing. You've got to think of lanes, passing and shooting. Stick on puck.
McBain last year appeared in all 82 games for the Coyotes. It was his first full NHL season. Power play LA. Kempe feeds it on the right wing, gets it back now to Fiala, who was very active yesterday. For Kempe, a shot. Good look for Vejmelka and a save.
And Vejmelka's he's really settled down. And early on, he just couldn't get the hands going, couldn't get the feet going, and now he just seems to be tunnel vision on the puck. From behind the goaltender, Kempe can score from there. You see a moving screen, but the screen was moving a little bit too quick. Jared Anderson-Dolan, as Kempe gets his head up, he's already out of the way. You can see, great look right there. Goaltender sees it all the way, makes the easy save.
Kempe, a goal yesterday, had 5 shots on goal. Kings set up the power play, down to the circle. Kempe a drive, save, loose puck in front, and it's chipped wide by Anderson-Dolan. 6 seconds on the power play. A minute 22 left in the period. Coyotes with the only goal so far in the game. Soderstrom to center. Coyotes at full strength. Feeds it ahead. Dumba with a shot from the left side. Handled by Talbot.
Well, the Kings have their opportunities late on the power play. Similar situation to the first one, but you can see the traffic is much more effective here. Foggybo gets a chance to get a second whack at it. If I could take this time, Nick, I know everyone, I want to send our thanks to everyone on our crew here, but the camera operators are doing it for they've never really done hockey before, but you can tell everything is spot on right here, following the game exceptionally well.
Yeah, great job by everybody here this weekend. The NHL Global Series from the land down under. 1-0. Coyotes, a minute to play in the period. Trevor Moore to Gavrikov. Joining the play, moving down low, backhands it wide. Moore on the left wing board, swings it around, but Valimaki is up with it. Ahead to Gunther, and ahead to Zucker. Zucker spinning, and was marked on the play by Moverara. Here is Trevor Moore. For Grundstrom at the left circle, just bounced over his stick, or he may have had a good look at Vejmelka, who has faced 14 shots in the period and has stopped every one. Grundstrom, Moore, Deneau, Moore away with it to Gavrikov. A backhander hit the side of the net. Good work by the Deneau line on the left wing boards. Period winding down. The Coyotes looking for one more clear. Deneau feeds it across. Moore fans on a shot from 25 feet. Grundstrom in front to Moore, missed his stick. It goes down, and that'll do it. For the first period, the Coyotes on a goal from Barrett Hayton on the power play have a 1-0 lead.
And the Kings will want to stay off the power play. It was so good last year, but so far in this game, their best chances have been 5-on-5. Little handcuff right here. Gavrikov able late in the period to get a shot off. Goaltender handles it, but basically the story of period number 1. 5-on-5 Kings, power play Coyotes. Coyotes with a 1-0 lead.
Unofficially, Kings 15 shots, Coyotes with 12. Coyotes up after 1-0. And again, you're watching the NHL Global Series from Melbourne.
After period number 1.
PL, 2 straight games, your team has come out of the gate real strong, had nothing to show for it early on, but it seemed like that power play by Arizona kind of turned the tide here in the first period.
Yeah, special teams are, some games it's going to be 0-0, not much, and then special teams where you can win or lose it. So, we've had 2 opportunities, haven't been able to produce anything, but there's still a lot of minutes to be played in this game.
How can a trip like this at the beginning of a season help accelerate you bonding with your new teammates?
Yeah, it's a lot. It feels like we've been here for a month already. Getting to know all the guys, at the rink, away from the rink, doing a lot of activities together. It's been great. And now we're in the work part of it where it's time to play, but it's been great to get to know everybody.
Thanks a lot, PL.
Thank you.
All right, Pierre Dubois right there. His team trailing 1-0. It's fun to watch. These games are exciting. It's about the entertainment value, too, and all the stuff kind of prior to puck drop, and you see the players getting introduced, and certainly the biggest ovation that we saw, at least tonight, as well as last night, Jordan Spence from Manly, Australia, the local kid, right? And he's caught the eye of the Australians, of course, but he's caught your eye as well, and he's put up some pretty good numbers 2 years in the AHL so far.
I think there's more there than just Coach McClellan pushing some minutes to the local kid, right?
Hey, cheer for this guy. He's from there. No.
Really, but if you look at it in context, I mean, here's a guy that showed well. He split the last 2 seasons over the AHL and the NHL roster, predominantly on the AHL, but he's shown really well at the AHL level. Nearly a point per game player last year across his 56 games, but this is a guy that really could compete for a number 5 and number 6 or so spot on this roster. Probably not going to step in and penetrate your top 4, but a guy that might find his slot. I like they're giving him lots of touches, lots of 5-on-5 responsibility, and lots of reps on the power play as well, JMO. He's really making a lot of plays. He's been busy. He makes great decisions out there and thinks the game exceptionally well. So an interesting sector of the roster to keep an eye on. Jordan Spence, does he penetrate this Kings roster out of training camp?
Yeah, and you said with the removal of Sean Dursey, who's now playing for the opposition in this game, that might open up a spot on the back end for a guy like Jordan Spence. 5'10", 180 pounds, 2 seasons in the AHL, 87 points in 102 games as a defenseman. That's pretty offensive type numbers. Speaking of offense, how do the Kings kind of get things going here? Trailing by just 1, but what do you expect for period number 2? You know,
I like a lot of the things the Kings are doing. I mean, across the top 2 lines, at least the Deneau line, and then Turcotte has kind of stepped in for Kopitar tonight. So the top 6 rather have been pretty busy, but they need a little more balanced attack from the rest of the roster. But I like a lot of what they're doing 5-on-5.
How much stock do you put into preseason games? I know we spent the week with Mike Rupp, and he was very high. One of his bold predictions was Arizona. They are a playoff team come this year. Look, Game 1 looked really good yesterday. They look good here in the first 20 minutes. How much stock do you put into preseason hockey?
It really depends on which lens you're kind of looking at it through. I mean, if you're GM Rob Blake and Coach Todd McClellan, you're looking at some of these newer young faces that really haven't had meaningful time on your roster, like a Spence. You know, on the other hand, if you're Tournier, you're Armstrong on the Coyotes side of things, you're taking a good hard look at 92. Logan Cooley this year, Michelli as well. What kind of an impact can these guys have on their roster? And I'll tell you what, through a game plus to this point, they're giving them lots to consider on the outside of things.
All right, you see Cooley right there, fist bumps as he heads out for period number 2. What we're seeing between the net is probably the starters for these 2 teams coming up this year. You got Cam Talbot getting the start in net for the LA Kings, and on the other side, you got Karel Vejmelka, who's been, look, as far as what he's working with in front of him, he's been one of the better goalies over the last couple of years.
He's really given him serviceable minutes in the past, without question. Vejmelka has been awfully competitive. Talbot on the Kings side of things, I suspect the way things went last night for the Kings, with Riddick coming in for the 3rd period, perhaps Talbot gets the first 2, but his first appearance in a Kings jersey.
All right, 2 teams entering the ice surface here at Rod Laver Arena. Atmosphere has been pretty good. Like, it translates well through television, right? They're enjoying themselves down there.
There's a good buzz in that building, and I'll tell you what, a great representation, not just of the Yotes and the Kings.
At least all 32.
All 32, and then we're trickling into some of the some of the major Canadian junior leagues as well.
Hey, they love their hockey in the land down under, and we do too. Period number 2 coming your way right now. Enjoy.
Back here in Melbourne, Australia, and Rod Laver Arena as we get set for the 2nd period. Coyotes up by a score of 1-0. And Jim, this is a very, very busy building.
They have everything in here with their retractable roof. Of course, because it's hot here when they play the Australian Open. A little bit of a touch here for the Global Series. Tennis balls are the face-off circles. The red line. Tennis court. Tough to see, but you can check it out. That is the shade of blue that is the same color as the court when they play the Australian Open here. Of course, right next door, one of the adjacent buildings is Margaret Court Arena. Novak Djokovic just tied her for the all-time lead in major championships. As we mentioned yesterday, Rod Laver, no one has won more singles championships than Rocket Rod Laver.
Yeah, two Australians, Rod Laver and Margaret Court, two of the best ever from this sports-crazed country. They love everything that they come out and support and watch, and they've loved the NHL here this weekend. A couple of sellout crowds as we get underway in period 2. Teams at full strength. Carl Grundstrom in the lineup for Coach Todd McClellan. The Kings brought over 27 players, and all 27 are going to play at least one of the 2 games. Coyotes with a roster of 26. Moore, Deneau, and Grundstrom, a combination here this afternoon for head coach Todd McClellan as Keller comes to center ice. He'll swing back and wait for changes in his 7th season. A little give and go. A return feed chased down by Valimaki, who threw it at the net, and that's gloved easily by Cam Talbot. Juuso Valimaki broke in with Calgary. Had some injuries earlier in his career, but he's young enough where you figure, Jim, if he stays healthy, he could be really one of the anchors for this Coyotes defense for a number of years.
He brings a solid presence out there. You just get the feeling that he's under control. Again, a little bit of a size factor, the size advantage that he's trying to use out there, the length and reach.
Big hit on the far wall as a couple of 22s came together. McBain and Fiala. Fiala with it at center ice. This will be his 2nd season in LA. Off to Kaliev. Kaliev holding to Bjornfoot, who passes in front where it's tipped by Dubois, but just wide. Dubois again into the slot. Fiala couldn't tee it up. Kerfoot turns and will clear it to center ice.
And that was that reach I was talking about.
Shot by Dursey off a stick. Anderson's and out of play.
With Valimaki, he's in position there where the Kings were trying to chase down loose pucks and follow bouncing pucks, and the defenseman for the Coyotes just stayed at home. Actually went down to his knees, I think, but extended his stick. There's the attempt right there. Goaltender gets there just about the same time as Dubois. And you can tell on that one right there, whoever gets there first is going to win that battle. Goaltender, of course, just trying to get in the way.
Dubois acquired in the offseason in a multiplayer deal with the Jets, and then general manager Rob Blake promptly signed him to an 8-year contract. 1-0 Arizona. We're early in the 2nd period. Adrian Kempe ahead for Byfield. Byfield will push it in deep, avoid a check. But Zucker back quickly. He'll hand it off. And Arizona gets a clear from Dermott. Cam Talbot getting the start and goal for LA here today. Here's Zucker, a feed right in front, a backhander chipped over the net. Dylan Guenther as Talbot challenged Guenther in tight. And the Coyotes, Jim, you mentioned it, since they got that power play goal midway through the 1st period, they have really kind of elevated their game.
I'll go to the tennis again. That last chance, unforced error by the Kings. They're really sloppy along the boards, didn't get it out. The Coyotes right back to the front.
Matt Dumba, the veteran, sends it up the wall. Missed everybody, goes down, but the wave off the icing. England for Los Angeles back to the Australian native Jordan Spence for Doty, and Doty will work it in deep. Dursey around to Lawson Krause and to Bukestad. His pass tipped into the middle. Krause a feed in front, but Bukestad couldn't tee it up in tight.
And when he tried to get the 2nd time, Talbot was there with a poke.
And here is Michelli across. Valimaki, a shot, hit the post. 30-foot drive. Valimaki hits the post. Still 1-0 Arizona. Michelli, nice moves along the wall to Valimaki, but he couldn't hold the line. Bukestad still out there. A nice move on Moore. The rangy forward will dump it in deep and then get finished by Deneau. Englund off the glass, away from Grundstrom. Coyotes hold it in, work it across to Keller on the right side. Keller in the middle, down low, one-timer. Schmaltz fanned on it. Schmaltz gets it back out to Keller and across to Soderstrom with a pass blocked, shot in tight. Hayton, save is made. Coyotes force a turnover again, but a pass through the middle missed Schmaltz and then missed Keller. And Grundstrom to center will get it in deep.
Now the skill of the Coyotes take over there, that last little exchange. Smart on the forecheck, good positioning first, but then individual skills make it happen.
Fiala feeds it across, moving in, a chance, save is made. Driving in off the left wing was Dubois, and Fiala almost got the rebound off the goaltender. Barrett Hayton with the game's only goal will clear it down off the right wing boards.
Look at some chances at both ends right now. Certainly the best chance Dubois has had as an LA King. Rangy skater, but very smart to take one stride, one stick handle, then drive right to the net.
Todd McClellan telling us before the game that Dubois is still picking things up with his new team. He played yesterday, playing today, of course, as Moser flips it in on goal, and Talbot will scoop it up.
And the Kings are known as a team that plays a very detailed style, so sometimes watch a friendly foul right here, right at the red line. Byfield and Kempe, and Kempe says, okay. Yeah. Who was the hitter? Who was the hitee there? Valimaki jumping in. Both teams have created some pretty chances with that second wave. And Valimaki gets it here. A little bit of the forecheck. Whoa. Hayton's looked very impressive so far into today's game. Trying to keep the puck alive, kind of make it happen, and Coyotes still with that one-goal lead.
Hayton had a goal yesterday, the empty netter to seal the win, and the power play goal here today in the first period. Moverara, 43 for LA. He's been up with the Kings for some games the last couple of years. Of course, 2 years ago, the Kings had so many injuries on the blue line. Carcone spinning, but then fell down and lost the puck. Alex Turcotte, a former first-round pick. Kings need to keep him healthy to see what he has. Kempe across, and a pass tipped in the middle, missed Byfield stick as Gavrikov joined the play. Kerfoot for Arizona. Couldn't get a pass through Moverara, who sends out Anderson Dolan. Jared Anderson Dolan for Los Angeles. Moving behind the net, battling with Dylan Gunther. Gunther away with the puck, lifts it high in the air and gets it down.
Moverara a couple times right there. Pretty good solid one-on-one, one on Carcone. That last one just getting in the way, leading the transition.
And Englund with a shoot in. They wave off the icing. Spence is on it. Works it behind the goal. A walkout bid by Anderson Dolan, but he's tied up. And the Coyotes, Gunther will carry it just outside his line. And then it's worked down the ice by Sean Dursey. Fogimo for LA between the benches will send it in and head off on a change. 7 minutes gone here in the second period. Dursey, an assist yesterday, an assist here on the power play goal today. Will get it down the ice. Deneau across for Bjornfoot. Toby Bjornfoot to Deneau, but offside. Go the Kings. Carcone, who led the AHL in scoring last season. A spinning move, but didn't get the shot on goal. Still 1-0 Arizona. Veteran defenseman Matt Dumba signed a one-year deal, $3.9 million cap hit, 10 seasons with Minnesota.
Yeah, you know, 7th overall back in 2012, and Bill Armstrong, the general manager of the Coyotes, with the youth and the talent. And Nick, you've been talking over 2 games, all the young picks. You need those veteran guys to come in, and Dumba is one of those guys. He's talking about his team still finding their identity. Andre Tourigny, the head coach, talking about Dumba coming in. He says it's kind of like that parent-child relationship where, you know, you've got the kids. They know what they want to do. They have the skill to do it, but every once in a while they need to just be taught. They need to be guided. And Dumba will be one of those guys for the Coyotes.
And as the Coyotes look to improve their power play this season, Dumba will be considered as a quarterback for either their first or second unit with his experience and offensive flair. Coyotes, after the icing, win the draw, but Michelli is tied up. And here's Grundstrom right up the middle. Off for Moore. Moore couldn't get it to Danault. Moore gets it back for Grundstrom. And out to Bjornfoot, right side. Anderson with a shot, handled by Vejmelka.
Toby Bjornfoot out there for the Kings, and talking with Todd McClellan before the game, he said, Bjornfoot, he said, this is his year.
Yep.
He's paired with Anderson. There's Toby there. He has to clear waivers this year. And he's so smooth and graceful at times, but the one thing McClellan said to us was that vanilla is not good enough, meaning he's going to have to show himself somewhere, pick some element of his game to really stick out. Rob Blake, general manager of the Kings.
Yeah, he'll have a decision when they pare down the rosters for the opening night. Todd also talking about Bjornfoot. He's got to figure out a way, Bjornfoot does, to have an impact on a game on a consistent basis. Coyotes still leading on that first period power play goal by Barrett Hayton. Set up by Keller, who comes to center. And behind the play, we've got a penalty or penalties coming up. I think Dumba and Kaliev were kind of jawing at each other.
Yeah, it's only going to be 24, not 34, so it looks like the Kings will get the opportunity on the power play.
24 Arizona, 2-minute slot.
So Kevin Pollock with the call. And Mr. Dumba does not agree with it. Slashed by Kaliev first. The retaliation, how many times is that picked up? But you can see why Dumba was upset, because Kaliev had reached out himself, sticking to the hands. Dumba has to be a little bit more disciplined there, because his team was going the other way. He'd already broken it up, go the other way, takes the penalty.
So LA on their third power play here today. They had 4 yesterday, didn't get a power play goal. And of course, Doughty and Kopitar not in the lineup today for Todd McClellan. Danault along the boards, out there with Dubois, Byfield, Kaliev, and Spence. Spence for Danault, a shot blocked. Dubois around to Danault, up high. Spence a shot, he missed the net. Fans here in Australia would love to see Spence get a goal. And shorthanded to center Kerfoot. And he'll send it in deep. He'll chase it down with Danault. The two come together. They cancel, and Spence is away with it.
Kerfoot will see a lot of time on the penalty kill. Again, the head coach, Andre Tourigny, told us before the game he can fill so many different roles, Kerfoot can. Another one of those veteran guys picked up to help out. He can play on the top line, smart defensively, does it all.
Yesterday matched up a lot against Anze Kopitar as the Kings mishandled the puck with 1:05 left on the man advantage. Up ice pressure by the Coyotes, but they're changing. And finally away with it. P.L. Dubois races through center ice. Checked from behind by Schmaltz, a good effort. Puck winds up deep into the Arizona end. Kings away with it. Fiala, a pass deflects in the air and out of the zone, and the Kings will have to reset. Kevin Fiala would have led the Kings in scoring last year had he not missed about a dozen or so games late last season. Kopitar did lead the team again in scoring. 25 on the power play. Adrian Kempe at the goal line. More to Anderson Dolan, who tipped it wide. Anderson in front, tipped on Anderson Dolan, and a save made. Kempe recovers. From Mikey Anderson to Fiala. Fiala, a pass down low, tipped into the middle by Moore, but broken up. Kings reset. Coyotes at full strength. Puck was fumbled by Anderson at the blue line, and it's whistled offside. Still 1-0 Arizona here in Melbourne. You're watching the NHL Global Series from the Land of Oz.
The Coyotes penalty killing. Lanes are more important than man-to-man coverage. Cooley, young kid, 19 years old, gets his skate stick. Watch the stick work right here. Left side of the screen. Coming out of nowhere, Dermott Open, not open, because he extends the stick, takes away time and space, breaks it up on the penalty kill.
On the penalty kill last season, Coyotes ranked 27th. We mentioned their power play 24th, so they'll be working on the special teams here as they lead up to the regular season, the start of the regular season in a couple of weeks. Little ice issue here.
It's the boards, I think, where the Coyotes come onto the ice, more so than the ice itself. I think it's the boards. They're trying to make sure that it does close all the way. And as you mentioned, Nick, now down low on that yellow dasher board, perhaps sometimes it sticks out just a little bit, just enough. So they've got the door closed and they've got the ice ready.
Bukestad, Kraus, Michelli, the line out for Andre Tourigny and the Coyotes. Midway through the second period, with the Coyotes leading 1-0. Michelli, a pass blocked. Michelli battles to get it back. He does. Drives down low, chased by Foggy Mo, and then he lost the puck. Grundstrom turns it up ice for Los Angeles. Grundstrom pushed along the boards. Puck out, Moverara to Gavrikov, a high drive. And the puck will rim around the wall and go down the ice.
And the Kings, one of their main goals this year is to improve what happens after the initial forecheck. Go in, take a body, create a turnover, but then what happens after that?
Bukestad hands it off to Dursey with a shot. Looking for a tip, didn't get it. Fiala out of the King zone, now stops up. Hands it back inside the line. Moverara to Kaliev. And it missed Kaliev's stick. They wave off the icing. Fiala to Dubois to Kaliev, but he fanned on the one-timer. Sent ahead for Schmaltz to chase down, but he's marked by England. And P.L. Dubois for the Kings to England. A long stretch pass, missed everybody, and goes down for icing.
Well, the King killer, Sean Dursey, so far with 2 assists in one in each game. Entry, second wave, head up, just trying to make this play here. More of a pass attempt than a shot attempt. And that's one thing that Sean does very well. The Coyotes are trying to figure things out there, a little bit going on. More teaching is going to have to be done by Arizona, perhaps in a lot of teams. And that Fitztunity, he loves teaching. That's a big part of his game as a coach.
1-0 Arizona. Schmaltz leaving it for Matt Dumba. Dumba spinning, sends it across. Keller to Schmaltz, a shot off a stick, and it goes out of play.
Yeah, Tourigny, the head coach again of the Coyotes, he spoke to us after last game, and everyone's asking about Cooley in the goal, and he says he has one thing he asks young players in their first year. He just says, "What did you learn tonight? What did you learn during the game? What did you learn at practice?" He says, "Numbers, put those aside. What did you learn? Get better. Be consistent."
Cooley with a goal yesterday. Here is Spence. Will lift it into the Arizona end. Grundstrom out with Moore and Deneau up front for Todd McClellan. Deneau, a pass in front, deflects right to Moore, who backhands it on, and a save in tight. Clayton Keller will flip it in. Schmaltz for Keller behind the net, off his stick. Comes out to center ice, down to the Arizona line for Dermott to gather in. Coyotes changing. Dermott's long pass tipped down the ice by Alex Kerfoot. Reaching for it, Spence. Spence tied up. Carcone is there. And Grundstrom not able to clear the puck. A shot from Dermott deflects. Looked like it went over the crossbar. Coyotes trying to press the issue, but they can't hold the puck in. Dermott across on the right side. Carcone for Soderstrom. And to Kerfoot. Kerfoot looking for a play down low to Logan Cooley, but he couldn't get the puck, and Spence and the Kings will clear it down. Just under 7 left in the second period. Here is Logan Cooley, 3rd overall pick a couple of years ago. Cross ice pass, Zucker holding on, back on the left side to Dursey. Dursey, a shot pass is blocked. Good block there by Spence, and now ahead to Byfield into the zone. Byfield got bumped along the wall, And a board battle. Squirts free Kempe. Out to Moverara. To Gavrikov, a shot. Save is made. Kempe on the rebound. That was going wide. And the Coyotes will get it clear, and we're going to get a tripping call behind the play.
The Kings had the pressure on, but Byfield goes off for the trip.
55 Los Angeles, 2 minutes tripping.
There's nothing that kills momentum more than an offensive zone penalty, and it has been back and forth. Off to the left is Byfield. He doesn't get the opportunity, and he gets the stick between the legs of Valimaki. I'd say Valimaki will help it on a little bit right here. Watch this. From behind, he has the stick between his legs, but then he goes down. Draws the call.
So the Coyotes on a power play. They scored on their only other opportunity, the game's only goal, midway through the first period. Keller into the zone to Schmaltz. Driving down low, Schmaltz. A little give and go with Keller. Went off Schmaltz's stick. He recovers. Neatly got it across. Dursey to Keller. And now they'll set it up for Nick Schmaltz. Keller with room. Back to Schmaltz, but under his stick. Schmaltz tied up by Anderson Dolan. And the loose puck cleared down by Gavrikov. Arizona with a man advantage. Dursey to the attacking line for Keller in deep to Dursey. Dursey joined by Gunther. They work it out to Keller. Keller right side for Schmaltz. And to Dursey, a one-timer save. No rebound for Hayton. And a whistle.
So not a lot of setup time. And I think Sean Dursey, for that reason, says first opportunity to get a shot, I'm going to take it. Failed clear creates the problem. The Kings will do a good job right there, at least. I think Sean, if he could do it again, he'd probably wait a little bit for traffic. You can see right there, you do have Hayton, but the shot came so quick that the traffic was not able to be effective.
Power play has a minute left. 1-0 Arizona. Michelli feeds the middle. Bounced out to Valimaki. Now they set it up. Valimaki got it back after he dished it off to Michelli. Michelli chased for Kraus to Bukestad, and a pass through the slot broken up and cleared by Trevor Moore.
And we talked about the Coyotes in the penalty kill. Trevor Moore in good position right there. Moore struggled last year with injury, concussion. Took him a while. I think everyone hoping he's going to get back to 100% full health because the Kings need his speed and acceleration.
Power play, 22 seconds left. Coyotes looking for one last good opportunity here for Valimaki and to Michelli. He had a goal yesterday. Michelli looking, a pass through traffic to Kraus. Feeds it in front. Knocked away and cleared down the ice. Lawson Kraus, a big presence in front of opposing goaltenders, at a career-high 24 goals last season. As the Coyotes get a bit sloppy with it inside their line, but they're able to recover. Dumba moves in, and 40-footer is wide. Now a chance. Carcone wide from the left wing. Another penalty coming up on the play. I believe this one is going to be against the Kings. 1-0 Arizona. We've got a power play. When we come back, you're watching the NHL Global Series from Melbourne, Australia.
Los Angeles.
Number 9, Coyotes didn't make many friends with the Australian audience yesterday when he turned down the Vegemite. See the referee in the top right, that hand up behind the play. You'll see exactly why coming up right here, because stick into the hands right there. He goes underneath. You get stick on stick, you're okay. Stick it in the hands, hooking the call. Kempe for the box.
Third power play for the Coyotes. They are 1 of 2. The game's only goal, a Hayton power play goal. Back in the first period, and Hayton is out there, wins the draw. Dylan Gunther out there as well. Sean Dursey quarterbacks. They get it on the left wing side to Schmaltz, or rather Keller. Up high to Dursey, back to Keller. Keller holding on, his feet in the middle, broken up. Tried to get it to Schmaltz, cleared down. Good read by the Kings. Trevor Moore.
Yeah, it's the second time in a row with Trevor Moore in a penalty kill situation. So look at the quickness right here.
Moore with a steal. Moore to the trailer. Spence a shot. Missed the upper left corner. Spence has had a couple of good drives here in the game, but unfortunately has missed the net on both occasions. Power play Arizona. They overload the left corner boards, battling with the Kings, but away with it. Bjornfoot to Trevor Moore. Takes a look, clears it off the right wing side and gets it down. 1:05 on the man advantage. Keller's pass broken up. Bounces. Deneau will get it down the ice.
So up ice pressure right here by the Kings. The veterans in Deneau and Moore making it difficult on the Coyotes to get things going.
Some fresh legs out for the Coyotes. Michelli and Krause are out. Michelli to Krause on left wing, driving down low, rubbed out by Moverara. Puck across to Zucker for Valimaki. To Michelli, across to Zucker. Valimaki, Zucker, a one-timer save made. Good look, good shot by the veteran Zucker. He's a newcomer to the Coyotes. Michelli with room, shoots, looking for a tip. It went wide. Actually hit Zucker, and away with it come the Kings. Turcotte to the attacking line, will work it in deep as the power play has 10 seconds left for Arizona. Michelli in the middle for Bukestad. Eats up the ice quickly with those long strides, but his pass in the middle for Michelli didn't connect. Kings at full strength. Coyotes 1 of 3 on the power play today. Kempe out of the box, across to Englund. Down low, Englund hit the short side post. Tried to stuff it in between the right arm of Vejmelka and that post. Moser backhands it high in the air, then he got finished by Doty. Bouncing puck. Corralled by Grundstrom, who hands it off to Anderson. And up for Anderson, Dolan, and down the ice. With 1:10 left in the period. McBain across on the left side to Moser. Moser, a rolling puck. He got it in deep, however. A minute to play in the period as Anderson Dolan pulls his way up the right wing. Looks to make a play, but the pass is broken up. Here is Carcone. Off on the right wing boards. McBain a give and go with a shot. McBain a save. Loose puck. Cleared away. Coyotes are on it again. Right wing boards a chance. Wide. Carcone. Anderson Dolan swats at it. Can't clear. Held in. Cooley down to the right circle from where he scored yesterday. Cooley up high. Kerfoot spinning, holding on. For Cooley, lost the puck, but there to pick it up, Gunther. Now in front it comes, and Cooley a chance in tight. Save made, centered by Zucker. A chance, and a save made off Dumba. And Dumba pushed away by a host of Kings, away from goaltender Cam Talbot.
Now Jacob Doty in there, that's the reason he's with the Kings. Has not played an NHL regular season game. Couple guys down on the ice now in behind, a tackle.
Mikey Anderson is one of them.
Of course, the protection of the goaltender is the unwritten rule that becomes the written rule so many times. Talbot under pressure here the last 2 minutes or so. The Coyotes just either forcing chances or the Kings sloppy, either way. Just before that action of the Coyotes, everyone hoping, as you mentioned, Nick, Jordan Spence just a little bit wide on that one right there in the second wave.
Los Angeles, number 45, 2 minutes each. Roughing.
In behind. And you can see the reason he probably went wide, because Vejmelka had a pretty good angle on the play. Best chances at the ends. Talbot, and then on a broken play, there's the last exchange, and everyone jumps on it with Dumba. And that's when you get the talk, the shove, the push, the face wash. There's the wrestling match that went down to the ground. So we do get coincidental minors. So Dumba and Doty roughing a little bit too much.
And off the draw, puck down the ice, and that'll do it. A scoreless second period. So we'll have some 4-on-4 when we resume play here at Rod Laver Arena in period 3. 1-0 Arizona. Barrett Hayton, a first period power play goal, and that's been it so far here today. You're watching the NHL Global Series from Australia.
Well, nobody finding the back of the net in period number 2. It remains 1-0 Arizona on top. Barrett Hayton, power play goal coming all the way back in period number 1. And that is where we stand through 40 minutes.
He comes with a lot of reps, but both clubs playing with a whole lot of pace tonight, Jim.
All right, well, here come both squads as they lead each other back out on the ice for period number 3. It looks like Big Save Dave might get between the pipes here for the third period for the LA Kings, and onto the ice comes the Arizona Coyotes. Look, we had 8 goals combined in yesterday's game. This is a much different affair. Do you expect this game to get blown wide open here in period number 3, or is this one going to be a little more tightly checked?
Based on what we've seen so far, I would expect a good bit of tight checking through the third as well. And interesting, kind of the same setup that the Kings went with last night. Talbot gets the first 2 periods, as did Copley last night. Rittich gets the third in both contests.
All right, you got a prediction on how period 3 plays out? 1-0 Arizona right now.
I see the Kings turning this one around. They come out with a win on this.
All right, we'll have to see how it plays out. Period number 3 from Melbourne, Australia. Tim Tams aplenty. Goals, not so much. We'll see if that changes. Enjoy the game.
And we are back here at Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne, Australia, the NHL Global Series. This could be the final period of the Global Series for this year, unless we get some overtime play. It's a 1-goal game as we continue to be amazed at all of the different jerseys fans are wearing. Not only NHL jerseys, you just saw some European jerseys, and I'm sure some jerseys of teams here in Australia as David Riddick comes on in relief of Cam Talbot for the third period. Riddick played the third period yesterday, so Todd McClellan, true to his word, Jim, going to play everybody that came on the trip, and all 3 goalies are going to wind up playing 2 periods. Here is Fiala into the zone quickly, underway in the third to each team. Shy a skater and a bouncing puck. As Fiala got checked, was knocked towards the net by Dubois.
Yeah, a little cricket action there by P.L. Dubois following up the play, and it didn't look dangerous at first, but with Kevin Fiala, when you're playing with Fiala, things happen out of nothing. Watch this bang right there. Little bounce attempt, and Vejmelka makes sure, gets the pads together, the arms together, no holes.
Last year when Fiala was with the Kings, his first season as a King, he impressed a lot of us with his playmaking ability. He can score goals, obviously, but boy, he's got great on-ice awareness. Here is Dubois. Penalty coming up in the play against Arizona. Dubois drop pass, touched up by Schmaltz. Going to be a holding call, and the Kings, trending by a goal, will go on the power play.
And it's going to be the guy you were talking about, Kevin Fiala, that draws the penalty. Watch the body position. See
Number
the puck
9,
protection
Arizona,
right there?
2 minutes hold.
And then the bear hug by Schmaltz in behind. Excuse me, it's Keller with the hold, but this is what Fiala does so well. He protects the puck. He's not the biggest of guys, but he always finds a way to make it difficult on defenders. And you saw Keller with the first arm reach around, then he reached around the waist, got him a couple times. So something you do not see that often, a 4-on-3 power play for 117. The Coyotes holding a 1-goal lead. The Kings trying to tie things up.
Yesterday, 0 for 4 on the man advantage. Today, 0 for 3. Kings win the draw. Spence is out there with Fiala. Up high, Fiala feeds it right side, gets it back from Kempe to Kempe. One-timer! He scores! That didn't take very long.
First things first, the Kings work the face-off well, and that's not necessarily won cleanly, but everyone comes in to help out. There it is right there. It's actually Kempe, the goal scorer, that keeps the puck alive off the face-off. Fiala goes to the middle. Options right, options left. Decides I'm going the same place I went the first time. 40-plus last year for Kempe. The release and the short side, the placement is important right there, because you see Vejmelka, he came across. I mean, he was there, but the release and the accuracy 4-on-3. Now we're back to 4-on-4, but we're tied 1-1.
Kempe had a goal yesterday. And Jim mentioned his 40-goal season last year, 41 to be precise, a career high. Led the team. Fiala will get the primary assist as the teams have traded power play goals here in Game 2 of this global series in Melbourne, Australia. Barrett Hayton has the Arizona goal. He has the puck for Moser, and ahead on the left wing where it's worked into the zone by Zucker. Zucker chasing it now, controlling in the right corner. Checked on the play. Good play. Mikey Anderson away with it for Los Angeles. Then he got stripped by Dermott, who sends it around to Zucker. Zucker hands it off, and Moser will tip it out to center ice. 1-1 early third period. Deneau gains the line. Leaves it for Trevor Moore. Moore's pass blocked, comes out of the zone. Kings will regroup. In 10 seconds, the club's at full strength. Deneau check, Kempe in, Dietz, and it rolled off his stick. Almost looked like he was going a bit too fast for his own good. The other way, Arizona. Look out, Cooley driving in, bulls his way to the net. Save is made, net dislodged, and a whistle.
Well, both chances for each team created by the skill guys. The first one with the Kings from behind. Kempe's speed, it's not picked up originally from that point. Protects, tried to go back against the flow at the last second. Melka had the stick. Cooley tries to protect. And you can see he doesn't really get a shot off, only one hand on the stick at the end. But if you're the Kings, you want Kempe. If you're the Coyotes, you want Cooley. Either way, it works. Both guys can make it happen.
Andre Tourigny probably like to see that play by Cooley, going to the hard area to try and score a goal.
He talked about his compete yesterday to us as a skilled guy. That's what he's known for as a 19-year-old. But we saw it yesterday after taking a big hit, gets right back up. That time, Nick, as you mentioned, traffic area, take it right there.
Early third period, knotted up at 1, a pair of power play goals. Velamaki's outlet, tipped, winds up at center. Bukestad dumps it in. Out is Riddick for Byfield. His pass broken up. Gavrikov, long stretch pass, didn't connect to Turcotte. Kings reset. Gavrikov again. This will be his first year of a 2-year contract for Gavrikov. He was a free agent in the summer. Of course, joined the Kings last year at the deadline from Columbus. As Sean Dursey knocks it into the Kings' end. Toby Bjornfoot behind his own net for Gavrikov, and out at center to Byfield. And across to Anderson Dolan just on. He'll backhand it down. As the Kings complete a change, Fagimo out there with Anderson Dolan and Doty. Schmaltz checked by Bjornfoot, who stood him up at the blue line. Dermott defensively now with Soderstrom for the Coyotes. As Keller feeds Soderstrom and off to Schmaltz. Couldn't get the pass cleanly. Spence for Bjornfoot. And to Doty, his pass blocked. Doty got it back. And in trying to clear it to go out of play off Schmaltz, his stick.
I think a big reason for the accuracy of Kempe is he's worked on his shot so much, but it's just decisiveness. Left side of your screen, watch the backswing. I don't think there's any. He hardly pulls the stick back at all, and that creates the quickness on release. You'll probably see the torque of the stick right here. Yeah, look at that bend. A little bit of modern day technology with a stick, but we've talked to Adrian over the last couple of years since he's really become the goal scorer. And it's more about just making that decision. Shoot 100% of the time.
He is used in all situations. Power play, shorthanded, even strength, of course. And he has been a valuable player the last couple of years. 41 goals and 30 plus the year before that. Schmaltz for Keller. Gains the Kings line, looks for a play, give it back to Schmaltz, goes off the veteran's stick. And here is Anderson up the middle for Fiala. Back to Anderson, but Fiala fanned on the pass. And Keller will dump it down to the Kings line. Mikey Anderson signed a long-term deal with the Kings last season. So he'll be around for a long time. An 8-year deal. His regular partner when the season starts will be Drew Doughty. Deneau slips a check to Grundstrom. Can't get a shot. Moverara does, but it's blocked. Never got through to Vejmelka. Gunther, an outlet pass. Got the return. Then it was broken up by Grundstrom. Grundstrom to Moore. Moore, a shot. Blocked by a stick. And I think Moore also broke his stick on the play. Velimaki's lead pass broken up by Gavrikov at the Kings line. And here is Bukestad stepping into Kings ice, slipping down low away from Deneau to Gunther, and out to the blue line. Dermott to Soderstrom, a shot off Grundstrom and out of play.
Now important to get your stick on it right there with Grundstrom. The Kings had the counterattack earlier as Sean Durzi gets a little bit of attention at the bench. Might not need any stitches, so he gets the steri strips. Oh yeah, there it is. That's modern day defenseman right there. It's more about that stick-on puck. And just when Moore thought he had the opportunity, and then he did snap the stick, but Durzi had more to do with that than anything else. He has a little smile because his picture is up on the board here at Rod Laver Arena. He gets a chance to get a smile in himself.
Great awareness.
There you go.
1-1, and the Kings off the draw take over. Long outlet as they try to spring Byfield, who was behind everybody. That was knocked down by Dermott, who plays it back into the Kings zone. Up ice pressure, Michelli and Krause, but the Kings get a clear. Collision at center ice, Turcotte and Dermott. And Soderstrom will take over and take a look. Victor Soderstrom off for Bukestad to Krause. And in deep to Soderstrom, the defenseman, into the right wing corner. Kings zone, hands it off. Centering pass by Michelli comes out to the blue line, but Krause could not hold it in. And here is Alex Turcotte for Kempe. A touch pass, Bjornfoot down to the circle, a shot off a stick and wide. And Fiala unable to hold it in. Kings will regroup. Back forward is Jordan Spence for Bjornfoot. Off to Kaliev on left wing, a shot high and off the blocker of the goaltender. Then it fell into the goal crease, and Vejmelka will cover up. Adrian Kempe, a power play goal here in the third period, has tied it at 1 on the NHL Global Series from Melbourne, Australia. As you get a look at the sports complex in the foreground, the Melbourne Cricket Arena, where we saw Australian rules football on Friday night. Almost a sellout crowd here again. We had over 13,000 yesterday, 13,188 today, an open practice Thursday or Friday, I guess it was. So over 30,000 fans have seen NHL hockey the last couple of days here in Australia.
And that Melbourne cricket ground you were speaking about with the Australian rules football, we were in attendance when my Collingwood Magpies earned their way to the grand final, which will take place next weekend. 97,600 people at that game.
Yeah, this is really not only a sports town, the whole country. They just love everything. They love their sports. And obviously they love supporting their teams. We're tied at 1 here. Hayton and Kempe have traded power play goals in the final game of the Global Series for 2023. Kaliev for the Kings, out to Anderson with a shot that goes off a stick and sails wide. Moser works it up the wall and cleared down by Kerfoot. And this will go for icing.
So at that point of a game where both coaches are probably just keeping an eye on what's going to go on here. We talked about Kerfoot earlier, one of those veteran guys at it, spent time in Toronto, his last stop before the Coyotes. Multi-dimensional player, and that's what Bill Armstrong's looking for. He's just looking for some help for the young kids, but they're at that stage now where they're ready to take the next step. talk about playoffs. Bill told us the other day, maybe not playoffs, but at the same time, not counting it out.
Yeah, they are trending in the right direction with all the young talent. Shot, score! Moverara from the right point. I don't think it was tipped. Jacob Moverara gives the Kings their first lead today.
And of course, Moverara, he's in a fight for his job. Low corner, watch this, low. It'll go back to high. Gavrikov backs off, and Moverara's one-time shot. Now there's traffic there. I don't think it was touched, Nick, as you mentioned, but that moving traffic, we saw it in game 1 yesterday. High backswing. Yeah, goes all the way through, almost goes 7-hole right there underneath the arm of the goaltender. But you can see how Vejmelka would have a tough time finding that puck. But the change of direction, Gavrikov from one side of the ice very quickly to the other side. Little discussion at the bench right there.
6'3", 210, 25 years of age. Moverara, 4th-round pick in 16. He's played 21 NHL games, and he's gotten a look the last couple of years, Jim, because of injuries on the Kings blue line, especially a couple of years ago, and because he's got size and he's a left shot.
From behind the goaltender, oh yeah, there it is. I think Vejmelka probably saw the release, but once it left the stick of Moverara, he probably couldn't pick it up after that. And then you can't find it. You look behind you, to the net.
So for the first time, the Kings with a lead as Sean Durzi takes over for Arizona. He's checked right at the LA line, and that put the play offside. Moverara at 7:33 here in period 3.
I was just about to say, just before the goal, where both coaches in a regular season game would, you'd be starting to look at matchups. Gavrikov kind of no look to. He had his head up looking towards the goal. There was a couple of swings or pokes at the puck by players, but no one got it. That man did.
So the Coyotes now need a goal to tie it up. Valimaki off to Schmaltz, missed his stick, goes down for icing.
And the Kings are known as a team that's very strong in the neutral zone, so Andre Tourigny and his coaching staff trying to figure out how to get through that middle part of the ice, and a couple of icings in a row here now, so the Kings will try to do that. Now it's up to the Coyotes, trailing by a goal, to make sure they get that red line, and you don't try the perfect play right now, you just try to get it deep and increase your chances for shots on goal.
Turcotte and Hayton on the draw, won by the Coyotes center, and Arizona will get a clear. 2-1 LA. Byfield on the left wing boards, wrapped up by Durzi, and Durzi's stick came up, clipped Byfield, and the Kings are going to get a power play. Durzi is going to go.
Now Durzi says, "You're going to cut me, I'm going to cut you." And it was obviously inadvertent. More of a scramble situation as Byfield's fighting for the puck, and just as he ends up going by, I think what Durzi's trying to do
Arizona,
here is...
number 50.
That's what I thought.
Minor penalty, high sticking.
He actually did lift the stick of Byfield, but then his stick came up too. And now the Kings with an opportunity to try to add to the lead. A little bit of a huddle here to get things going.
Danault out with Byfield, Kaliev, Dubois, and Spence. Kings tied the game at 1 early in the period on a power play goal. Kempe took the lead a short while ago. Moverara, here's Dubois, tries to backhand it in short side. That missed the net, and the Coyotes get a clear, a bouncing puck sent down the ice by Bjugstad. Krause and Bjugstad up front to start the kill for Arizona. Danault, who earlier in his career before he joined the Kings hardly ever played on the power play, but he's made the most of the chance to show Todd McClellan the last couple of years what he can do with a man advantage, and he's been successful. Kaliev for Danault, out of his reach. Byfield chasing after it, but up with it for the clear is Soderstrom. 1:10 on the man advantage. Jordan Spence getting a lot of power play time here today, Jim. This is the Kings' 5th power play. Spence for Kempe, and off to Fiala and to Moore. Moore checked along the wall, and Kerfoot will send it down.
Entry, the issue right there, with the Kings trying to get to the blue line, and very disciplined by the Coyotes to just stand their ground.
Adrian Kempe gains the line. They look to set it up, but a soft pass across the line broken up. Carcone with it, dragging the puck at center ice, then took a bump from Kempe. Got it into the King zone. Quickly up the right side, Trevor Moore in the middle of Fiala, and across to Anderson Dolan. That pass broken up, and Carcone for Arizona will get it down. 15 seconds on the man advantage. Midway through period 3 here in Melbourne. 2-1 LA. In traffic inside the blue line. Fiala check. Away with it, Barrett Hayton, who's got the Arizona goal today. Hayton will drive down low, chased by Gavrikov in the corner. Loose puck to Gunther, and he sends it out to center ice, where the Coyotes mishandle it, picked up by Moverara. And he'll work it in deep. Dursey out of the box. Kings power play today, 1 of 5. Kings with a 2-1 lead. Moverara around the wall for Turcotte. He'll leave it for Grundstrom. Grundstrom ran into traffic. The puck free at the left circle. Worked out Pagimo to Moverara to Gavrikov, who sends it from 50 feet on net. And the other way, Arizona, but with his reach, Gavrikov breaks up the play at center ice. Coyotes complete changes as Dursey carries behind his own net. Zucker out with Kraus now, and Bukestad up front for Arizona. Bukestad to Zucker to Bukestad, who centers, but nobody in the slot. Now Dursey, right wing boards, a shot sails wide. Valimaki rims it around the wall. Dursey pinches to hold in. He can't, and Anderson Dolan gets a clear. Bukestad to Valimaki, a long stretch pass. Broken up, bounces in front of the Kings bench. Zucker tied up. Anderson and the Kings away with it. Anderson with England, a defensive pair for Todd McClellan here today. Coyotes complete a change as Turcotte swings wide at his own line. A little give and go. And now across to Jared Anderson Dolan, who's pressured. He turned it over. Schmaltz to Keller to Schmaltz, right side to Keller, up high in the middle with a shot, tipped, and a save is made. Riddick tracked it nicely, makes the save. Jacob Moverara, Kings defenseman, with a go-ahead goal. 2-1 LA, third period. You're watching the
It is the Global Series. It is a global game. On the left, Kempe. On the right, Moverara. Spence with a pass. Power play situation 4-on-3, one-timer. Kempe, he is a Swede. One-timer. Something tells me they teach one-time shots in Sweden, because Moverara also from Sweden. And the Kings, with 2 here, have taken the lead, and Jordan Spence picking up his second point in the 2-game series. So everyone at home here in Australia is happy.
As the Kings have a 2-1 lead with 7.5 left in the third period. 2 third period goals for the Kings. Bjornfoot skating out of his own zone across to Spence. Spence will knock it in for Byfield to chase, but the Coyotes are on it. Dursey in traffic. Turcotte feeds it across. Kempe, a shot, grazes the outside of that left post. Bjornfoot trying to hold the line, cannot. Kempe coming close to his second goal of the game. Valimaki ahead. Keller dancing down low on Spence. Spence taking Keller into the end dasher. Kempe across to get the puck. As the Coyotes back off, and they'll go for changes. Under 7 minutes left here in period 3. Kings a little sloppy with it. Dubois had trouble with it in his skates. Can the Coyotes take advantage? Moser, a feed down low along the boards, but picked off, and Fiala got it out of the zone and down the ice. Matt Dumba for Arizona. Across Carcone, spinning, moving into the corner, rubbed out. He centered the puck, but it's knocked away from the slot. And the Kings get a clear. Bouncing puck, Kaliev with it. Off to Dubois. Dubois mishandling a rolling puck on the left wing side. And McBain will chip it off the boards and down to Carcone. Get it back, McBain, and he'll get it in deep and head off on a change. Kings get Deneau out with Moore and Grundstrom. Here is Grundstrom up the right wing. Tips it in deep. Chases down. Look to center at the side of the net. And now the Coyotes away with it. Outlet pass, a soft one for Zucker, almost intercepted. Coyotes recover. Tooley ahead. Gunther to the left circle. Stopped up, fell down. Tooley there, a shot. Hit the side of the net. The puck behind Riddick, but picked up by the Kings. Good awareness by Deneau. Moore for Deneau. To the net, a chance. Chipped it over the crossbar. Deneau, a good defensive play at one end. A good chance offensively at the other. Mikey Henderson, a shot blocked. Soderstrom hounded on the play. Moore and Deneau battling with Soderstrom. Puck up the wall. Cooley to Gunther. Gunther to the center ice red line. He'll work it in deep and head off on a change. Under 5 left here in the third period.
Well, we've had some back and forth. Important right now to make sure the front of the net is covered. Earlier we saw the second waves of defensemen being a factor. The Coyotes trailing him by 1 will try to activate the defenseman into the play.
Outlet by Valimaki goes down, and we'll get the icing. We're down to 4:29 left to play.
Well, the Kings were trying to add to their lead. Kempe has to hack to get the puck free. You see him backpedal right there over the pad under the glove off the post. At the other end, this is the closest right here because Riddick can't find it. And there's Deneau making sure as the centerman you're the last line of defense along with your defenseman to make sure to help out the goaltender.
Well, here in these 2 games, both coaches, Jim, are going to find out how their teams are doing protecting a 1-goal lead in the third period. The Coyotes had a 1-goal lead in the third yesterday, held on, sealed it with the empty netter. Kings with a 1-goal lead here in game 2 in the slot. A shot by Valimaki, and Riddick saw it all the way. Holds on. And a face-off when we come back. 4:02 left, third period, 2-1 LA. Valimaki stopped by Riddick. You're watching the NHL Global Series from Australia. Yesterday, 5-3 with an empty netter, and it's a 1-goal game going down to the wire here this afternoon. Young and old, they're all here rooting on NHL hockey, and it's been quite a week for both of these teams who have been here for 7 or 8 days now. They had 3 practices, 3 full practices before the games this weekend. Under 4 minutes to play. Up the right wing, Hayton, a half a step on Grundstrom, in on goal, stopped by Riddick. Riddick staying with Barrett Hayton, looking for his second goal of the night.
Well, you have to protect the puck to get to that spot. And you'll see exactly that. Again, the legs, the feet, the arms. Hayton will lead it right there. Yeah, he just makes the decision that he's going to go from the outside to the inside. Now, in doing so, you can see he's closed out from the back of Grundstrom from the front. The other Kings defender, so he ran out of space, but that's what you want to see. Beeline right to the middle.
Off the draw, Gavrikov will lob it down. Like yesterday, regardless as to the score at the end of regulation, we will have a shootout. The 2 coaches have agreed to do that once again. The NHL does that in the preseason just to get the shooters some opportunities. Turcotte with speed at center. Off to Byfield, back to Turcotte. Turcotte moving behind the net. Wrapped up by Moser. Kempe in to help out. Kempe looking to make a play. Cannot. Dumbug couldn't clear the zone. Now Turcotte feeds it out up high. Moverara down to the base of the right circle. A backhander right through the blue paint. Out to Gavrikov. Sends it around the wall. Picked up by Moverara. And he'll backhand it in deep. Good shift for the Kings. hemming in the Coyotes as the clock winds down in regulation. Krause will hand it off, and he'll go to the bench. We'll, of course, keep an eye on Vejmelka. Dumba. For Cooley, checked at the Kings line. Kerfoot is there, leaves it in the left wing. Dermott a shot, handled by Riddick. And the Kings take over with Kaliev. His lead pass tipped down the ice. Picked up Fiala. Fiala in front, a pass, deflection on goal. It's loose and covered for a whistle.
Counterattack speed by the Kings allows them to get to the middle. Vejmelka, a couple of times it looked like the Kings had whacks at pucks, but not necessarily clean. From behind the goaltender, you get it to the front. There's Cal. Oh, wow, look at that. The extension of Vejmelka. Well, his legs are at one side of the net, and watch him reach back. Right there, he gets his arm. He had to drop his stick because otherwise he probably wouldn't be as strong on the play. That's as pretzel-like of a save as you're going to see. He does the job.
Off the draw, shot England stick save, loose puck in the air. 33 shots Vejmelka has now faced in the game. Kings with a 2-1 lead, down to 2 minutes left. Stretch pass to center off Hayton. Hayton to his knees, loses, picked up Moore, in on goal, shoots, hit the post. Second post the Kings have hit here in the period. Moore and earlier Kempe. And trying to make a play more to Deneau, but he was tied up. Kings still with a 1-goal lead. Keller for Schmaltz. Schmaltz driving down low on Deneau. Feeds it out, Gunther to Dursey. Dursey plays it off the board, shoots it in deep. The goaltender to the bench. Coyotes have the extra skater out, trying to tie it up. Dursey up high with it. Drifts to his left. Gave it back to Keller. For Dursey. And to Keller. A lot of traffic in front of the Kings goaltender. To Dursey. And to Keller at the right circle at the goal line. Tipped by Hayton. Comes across. Shot save is made. Schmaltz with a good look. Schmaltz recovers. Out to Keller. Up high to Dursey. Now Schmaltz. To Dursey again. A shot. Blocked. And it comes down the ice. Blocked by Grundstrom.
Grundstrom making sure he gets to the lane. Get your legs in front of the stick. And that's exactly what he does to block it.
Dursey will get it in deep. The net empty to our left. Kempe with it. A look at the empty net. His shot, and he scores. From his half of center ice, Adrian Kempe with 39.5 seconds left.
Well, the Kings had their opportunities. Sloppiness by the Coyotes. With Hayton, he found himself once, twice, 3 times. And then Moore gets his head up. Watch quick hands. Post. But then the other end, it looked like the Coyotes were going to have their best chance right here. Schmaltz gets it, but he shoots back into the goaltender, Talbot. The Kings with the empty netter and Kempe. Kempe gets the pass along the boards, sees that he has no other option. And the odds nowadays, the analytics say take your chance. He took the chance, nailed it. The Kings lead 3-1.
And I would say if you score 41 goals in the NHL, shoot from anywhere on the ice. I think your accuracy is going to be pretty good. Down to 30 seconds left. Coyotes get the puck in deep. Vejmelka in goal. They center, and a chance in tight. McBain, that was blocked. Soderstrom on the left side with it. Up high, Kerfoot. Feeds right side. Carconi a shot, and they score on the tip-in. Might have been McBain off to the right of Riddick.
Quick decision there by the Coyotes to get it to the front, so now it's interesting. With 16.1 remaining. It's not over yet by any means. You can get up the ice in about 4 seconds. Now, of course, the faceoff's going to be at center ice. We'll get a great look at it here because off to the side, and this is a hard play. Carconi says, I'm getting it to the front. Something, just take it. Take a chance of it hitting something. Does it get all the way through? We're not sure. You see a defenseman, Dermott's there. In behind is McBain, but I would say this, Nick. young players impressing me in today's game. For the Coyotes, it has been Carcone to me. He's been active in moving around. Of course, you mentioned his numbers in the American Hockey League. When you leave that league, you're just ready. You're right on the doorstep.
Yep.
For the Kings, it's another young player. A player that was put into the lineup, I think, Alex Turcotte. I think he's looked very well. Oh, look at that. McBain pushes off just before the shot, but Dermott, he's in the middle of the action.
Could be Dermott's goal.
Yeah, I don't know if it got all the way through. I think you're right. There it goes, right off. You see Dermott? He gets his thing on it. McBain took a whack at it, but it was already going by him at the time. Goaltender pulled for this faceoff.
Here we go, one last try. Keller over the line, a shot wide. Right wing boards Krause. Krause is bumped. Kings will get a clear towards the empty net. Just wide. That will just about do it. No, icing is the call. 3.4 seconds left.
All right, so it only takes, if you can skate it up the ice, it's about 4 seconds. They're on the faceoff. The Coyotes had a set play. They win the faceoff. They get it deep. They're just throwing it to a spot. 1, 2, 3, and it just misses. Of course, the defenseman has to skate to the hash mark there to create the icing call. 4.5 put back on the clock.
Hayton and Deneau in on the draw. They'll have to reset the forwards. Face off to the right of Riddick, and off the draw, the puck out of the zone. 2 seconds, 1, and that will do it. With 3 third-period goals, the Kings defeat Arizona 3-2 here in the second game of the Global Series weekend here in Australia. The Coyotes took game number 1 by a score of 5-3.
So Todd McClelland had 7 new players in the lineup. I mentioned Alex Turcotte. He caught my attention as a player that will be vying for a position, although at the center position is tough. Andre Tourigny, his team gets out to a lead. We talked about outnumbered attacks before the game, the back and forth action. Vejmelka came in for his start. Doesn't get the win because he didn't have 50 shots against. That's what he loves, the 50 shot against.
Again, we will have a shootout despite the fact the Kings won in regulation. To start, Grundstrom, his shot denied by Vejmelka. We had 6 total shootout shots yesterday, and Cooley was the only one that scored.
Grundstrom looking to go over the pad under the glove. He had the goaltender sliding, but Vejmelka makes the stop.
Here is Maccelli, one of the top scoring rookies last year. A shot and a pad save.
I think right there, Maccelli, I think he had Talbot going the wrong way. I'm just going by the reaction of, excuse me, it is Riddick. I apologize again. Coming into the third. Yeah, Riddick's looking one way, he's leaning one way and shoots back against the flow, but the pad low makes the stop.
The veteran Philip Deneau, a left shot moving in, deking. Oh, nice move, but a save by Vejmelka.
The backhand pull and drag by Deneau. And Vejmelka just gets into a situation here where, watch the goal. Yeah, the goaltender bit. He bit on the move, but then readjusts himself to slide the pad across.
Barrett Hayton, the second shooter for Arizona, had a goal earlier in the game. Hayton in on a wide angle, now takes it to the net, and then he fanned on the shot, and they wave it off as soon as he fanned on it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't get the second opportunity in a penalty shot or a shootout shot. So at this point here, Hayton gets it. The pull and drag's going to be there. He wants to change the angle of the shot, but flubs it right there. And from that point on, now Riddick did come out to try to make sure on the play. Trevor Moore here for the Kings.
Trevor Moore from Thousand Oaks, California, in on Vejmelka, who makes the save.
The goaltender's very much under control in this shootout situation. The Coyotes will have a chance to win it here. Moore tries to change the angle, changes the edge, moves his hips around, but the goaltender does not bite.
Carcone, 27-year-old veteran forward, in, shoots, save is made. So the goaltender's in the shootout. perfect through 3 rounds, and will go until we get a team that gets the extra goal in the shootout. Here's Kevin Fiala. Fiala, deking, scores.
Edge work, the ability to create the deception, then you use the edges of your skates to change directions. No one does it as well as Fiala. Look at this. Inside edges both way. The left skate bites in, the goaltender moving across. And if you're Velmulka, oh yeah. That change in direction is just too fast, too deceptive. Good hands, finishes it off.
Logan Cooley had that great goal yesterday. Checked on the play by the stick of Riddick. That'll do it for the shootout. Fiala the only goal. We had 8 shooters in the exhibition shootout as the 2 teams come off the bench. And the NHL 2023 Global Series comes to an end here in Melbourne, Australia. Coyotes win yesterday. The Kings win here today.
And Kevin Fiala showing off his skill. Both teams once again. Cooley takes his time here. He slows it down, slows it down, slows it down. And Riddick says, you know what? You're taking your time. I'm going to force the action. That's a very aggressive dive, but he does it. 3 stars being announced right here. After the game, we saw this yesterday. Adrian Kempe will get the 2nd star of the game. 2 goals. The last one into the empty net. First star.
Who else?
There you go. Taking the ribbing from his teammates here. Now, with a big smile.
You may think that this is the logical choice, but he played well.
Oh, no question.
Deserves it.
Yeah. The Coyotes salute the crowd here. The Kings salute the crowd. Nick, it has been fantastic. They call Melbourne the sporting capital of Australia, whether it's tennis, rugby, Australian rules, football, Grand Prix, soccer, rowing, golf. Hockey has now made its imprint on Melbourne, Australia.
And the fans had a blast here this weekend at Rod Laver Arena. Our thanks to our entire crew here in Australia. And for Jim Fox and everybody in Melbourne, thanks for watching the NHL Global Series from Melbourne, Australia. So long, everybody.
Well, so long from Melbourne and hello from Secaucus. The Kings win the game. The Kings win the shootout. But Australian hockey fans winning the weekend. What a pair of games it was. The Yotes win Game 1. The Kings win Game 2, 3-2 the final. Our post-game show coming up from the NHL Network studios next.